care about Teferi. 1, 2, 3. Nah. Sephara and her fairies. Hey, I heard you like turn 3 7/7, so I'm here to show you my turn 3 Sephara combo deck. The card we're going to be building around today is Sephara Sky's Blade, who is a 7/7 flying lifelink for 7. You may pay white and tap 4 untapped creatures you control with flying rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Other creatures you control with flying have indestructible. Azorius Flyers is a cheap, quick little aggro deck where the goal is to either get Sephara out on turns 3 or 4 and or to swing in with a big rally on turns 4 and 5. And so in order to quickly and reliably cheat this card in, we're going to be playing 24 1-drop creatures, starting with Faerie Guidemother. Faerie Guidemother's nice in that you can push in a little bit of damage without committing too many creatures into a potential board wipe or sweeper effect, and the inherent 2-for-1 in the card is really valuable if you have to mulligan down to 6 or to 5, and we do want to mulligan pretty aggressively in this deck. Next creature is Healer's Hawk. Healer's Hawk has lifelink. The lifelink is pretty useful against other aggro decks, especially if they're on the play, and this card kind of gives you some game against the other life-gaining decks that are in the meta right now. We're also playing Loyal Pegasus, who is a 2/1 flying for 1 with downside if Loyal Pegasus can't attack or block alone. The downside isn't going to play too big of a role in this deck. The only time that you really got to watch yourself is if you can only get 2 creatures out before a turn 3 Teferi. If you have the option to play 2 other creatures, please do so. I'm also running Faerie Miscreant. When Faerie Miscreant enters the battlefield, if you control another creature named Faerie Miscreant, draw a card. If you wanted to go ahead and cut this card for Hushbringer, I wouldn't blame you. Hushbringer is very strong in the meta right now. That being said, I do think this deck is as strong as it can be when you're getting Sephara out as quickly and reliably as possible, so I'm trying to play as many 1-drops as I can. And it's not always reliable, but this card is very nice when you have to mulligan down to 6 or to 5 and you do get to draw that extra card off of this creature. We're also playing Pteramander. For 7 and a blue, you can adapt 4. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each instant sorcery card in your graveyard. It's really nice to have a potential 5/5 flyer to close out the game with, especially if you have 2 and they can't block both. And sometimes you're going to be casting too many spells, and it's really nice to be able to adapt one of your 1/1 bodies for 4 or even 3 mana. Lastly, we're playing Spectral Sailor, 1/1 flash flying for 1, activated ability for 3 and a blue, draw a card. The flash is really useful. I like to hold this card up on turn 1 to withhold the information that I am in fact an aggro deck, and on turns 4, 5, and 6, the activated ability is going to come in super clutch. If you're in a sort of an awkward stalled board state, the card draw acceleration is really nice, hoping to hit that rally or the Sephara off the top. We're also playing 13 instances of sorceries, starting with God's Willing, which is an instant for white. Target creature you control gains protection from the color of your choice until end of turn. Scry 1. Protection is exceptionally powerful, and you'll be well suited to remember strictly and specifically what protection does and does not protect from, and you can remember that quite easily with the mnemonic device of the word DET, D-E-B-T. D is for damage, E is for equip enchant, B is for block, T is for target. The 3 primary uses we're going to have for this card in this deck is as a 1-mana counterspell to make our creature an illegal target on the stack, which will send opponent's spell to graveyard, which is super nice if it's one of the adventure creatures like Brazen Borrower, Murderous Rider, Bone Crusher Giant. Secondly, we can use this as a combat trick to prevent combat damage after attackers and blockers have been declared. And lastly, we can use this to make our creature unblockable to swing in for lethal damage. 2 cards you gotta watch out for in the meta are Bone Crusher Giant's Stomp and Questing Beast, both of which say damage cannot be prevented, so play carefully and be safe. We're also playing Unsummon. It's an instant for blue. Return target creature to its owner's hand. So you can use this offensively to bounce opponent's creatures. You can use this defensively to bounce your creatures safely back to your hand. Again, sending adventure removal spells to the graveyard. This card, I would say, is required in the meta, especially with that Heliod deck running around. We're also playing 4 copies of Rally of Wings, 1 and a white, instant. Untap all creatures you control. Creatures you control with flying get +2/+2 until end of turn. So this is pretty much our Embercleave. This is our cheap, cheesy win con. You can rip it off the top of your deck, pull a win out of your ass. And then the double rally is definitely a valid strategy in this deck, and that could be on 2 consecutive turns or even double spelling 2 rallies on the same turn. One more thing worth mentioning is if you're playing against some sort of control magic like Blue-White or Simic Flash, you can choose to sequence Sephara and then Rally, or Rally and then Sephara, to try to draw the counter spells out of their hand to resolve the spell that you want to resolve to win the game. We're also playing 3 copies of Winged Words, 2 and a blue sorcery. The spell costs 1 less if you control a creature with flying. Draw 2 cards. So this is our draw 2 for 2 sorcery. This is kind of the glue that holds the deck together, reminiscent of Chart a Course. So I was playing more copies of this, but I ended up cutting some for Unsummon, just because I felt like I was drawing too many of these, and we don't want to go slow, we want to go fast, but we do need a little bit of card draw fixing. And that brings us back to Sephara. I think this card is pretty cool. I'm a tribalist. I like to swarm out on the board. I think it's really nice that this card has some inherent, going wide synergy and protection. Sweepers beat going wide. That's sort of the rock, paper, scissors. And so it's really nice to kind of say, like, you can't destroy my creatures. We're only playing 19 lands. That's the deck, and I hope you enjoy the gameplay. keep. That's better. Oh, that's a lot of blue creatures. Top deck god right there. Hopefully we don't get interacted with too much. He could just rip it right out of our hand. Sometimes I want to die. Cry of the Carnarium, thank God. Ha 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 ha, it's not in our hand. So, opponent might get that turn 5 Gary. Just in case of another Yarok Spinlurker. Devotion is 4, 5, 6, 7, up to 8. Six up to 7. Which is lethal. Ha 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 ha. Going first feels great. Will we hit 2 creatures off the top? I sure hope so. Playing against the something. Probably should have gone with the planes there. Ha! I kept 2 of them because last game you took my 1 of them. Big brain play, take the Faerie Guidemother? Oh no, too many big bodies. See ya. I'm gonna see if I need to discard that. Because I might need all of these. Turns out our hand might have been bad. Well, at least we'll cast Sephara for 7 someday. Gotta flash this in so he doesn't eat my hand that I draw. Priority to you, priority to me, priority to you, back to me. Ooh, that's a lot of life. So I gotta hold up God's Willing for... Oh, good game. Interesting game. This hand is not very good. This hand is bad. 2 lands, nice. So this is like the bare minimum keepable hand. A 1-drop body that might draw some cards. A sorcery that draws us some cards. Simic big boys, we're hurting so bad, we gotta draw cards. Did I do it? No, we're 1 creature short. Should I flash it? I guess so. No, counter spells. So somehow we still just need 1 more creature, which seems to always be the case in this deck. Yum.
Pounding heart, racing mind, creeping, thieving progeny.
Do I scry? I'll pray. So he'll probably minus. He may or may not have some sort of spell. Cast a big spell. Cast a big spell. Cast a big spell. And so we'll give Pro Black so that it can't get bounced. I mean, come on. Kind of looking for another rally, another God's Willing. Pegasus is very exciting. So if he was a smarty pants and put his activated ability on the stack, he could have responded with instant Speed Murder Strider in response to God's Willing. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's see if he doesn't block. Push. Push. So we got one more God's Willing, and we got 4 damage on the board. Let's see if he's smart enough this time. We'll do it again. In response, opponent not making the same mistake twice. That's an interesting sound that keeps happening. And no way to gain life, right? So that's a good game. Good game. Two lands, 4 bodies, Sephara. I'd keep this hand every time. Playing against Randon on the play. We'll see if we can get there. Gotta go white first. White, blue, white, blue, white. Pretty cool mana there, homie. Are you playing that Stetson champion? Gonna go under the counter spells here. I guess I could have gone Pteramander. And we'll see what opponent does with their 4 mana. Could hit a God's Willing off the top, would be pretty nice. Looks like this guy's trying to get to Nissa. Wonder what the white is for. It's a lot of white. God's Willing off the top. Another Sephara off the top. That'll work. So we're getting through the counter spells. We'll see what happens next. Put my control on.
Let's slow this down. This might be a bad idea.
Maybe some sort of counter spell. No, no counter spell. Maybe some sort of counter spell. Sounds cutting out in my ears. I'm not sure if you're catching that as well. And I think we'll push in.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Maybe a big Hydroid Crisis. Can they escape Uro? No. Any sort of board wipe would only clear the Sephara, and then we'd cast another one. What you got? Nothing? One land. 3 creatures. Is this the one land hand I want to keep? That might sound crazy, but I really want to think about it. Because we need what? A land and 1 creature. And we have 2 to 3 chances to hit land. feel like I'm supposed to go for it. Land off the top? Planes off the top? Slight chance to draw that card. Oh, we're gonna be too slow. Is now the time? No, I have to draw. Whenever you gain life. Yay! So, opponent has 2 cards. Opponent has a lot of cards. Now we go. And he'll cast God's Willing. And we have 1, 2, 3 creatures in hand, with 1 on the field, which is for Sephara. Come on, wizards. Not afraid of any counter magic.
We can banish evil from this plane.
Ah, we're mana screwed. We need a white source again. Oh! Oh no! Oh no!
Share in my light.
Jeez Louise. Come on, planes. It's okay. Are we dead? One, 2, 3, 4. 4, 10, 12. Crikey. -6, exile something. Sure.
Bring it on.
So, please don't kill me. That's fine.
I believe in you, friend.
12 damage. Planes would be sweet. Yeah, it's gonna be too much. Unless we hit planes. And we hit jack shit. Puts us at 9. We take 12. Good game. Maybe opponent will misplay.
I believe in you.
Yeah, my fault for keeping a This hand is average, but I don't feel like a 6 would be better. Now this hand's... Especially if we hit a white creature off the top. As long as he doesn't hit us with Legion's End. Opponent holding on to his oven. Opponent doesn't use his oven. Planes off the top lets us hold God's Willing. Or we can just go super hard. In before Murderous Rider. Oh, so lucky. Oh, so lucky. We are totally there. I think I'll play the blocker. Anything we unsummon, he'll just eat. Now is it Murderous Rider? Now that I got my God's Willing up? Not enough mana for Gary. Or Midnight Shepherd. What a surprise. Sure, why not? I mean, I guess I could have put it on the bottom and drawn into lethal with like a Gift of the Fae or a Rally. I feel pretty advantaged right now. Still would have been lethal. Feels like a good game to me. See ya. Just waiting for opponent's oven now. Which is fair, I cast Winged Words when I didn't have to, so... Ooh, up to 8. Two lands, so many spells, but we do have Winged Words and Rally. It's a key. Setting up a double Rally, just need to hit critical mass. Okay, I'm gonna bounce that. Third land. Anax. 2/2. I think I just do it now. What to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 14, 21. I guess that's the play. Probably gonna eat some Stomp. Don't know about that card. A 1/1 for 2, pro white, +2/+0 as long as it's a tapping. So that's the end of our lifelink. Put him to 2, but then he'll deal 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're not allowed to swing. I guess we are. Just have to block. And we'll see if we can keep one creature alive with his 2 spells. Oh no, the double shock, leaving up only the Loyal Pegasus. Oh, and Loyal Pegasus can't attack or block alone. God. 10, 16. Forced to double block. Pro white. Ten. If he has anything that's game, he probably has Embercleave anyway. It's a good game anyway. I already learned my lesson about one land hands. Maybe we'll get there. He got Opt. Omen. Oh man.
Longer. Stand by and watch.
Thanks, buddy.
I've got it.
Care about Teferi? 1, 2, 3. Nah. Sephara and her fairies. If I'm lucky, opponent will do nothing and will die. And maybe we'll hit another rally off the top.
Here goes nothing.
What you got? Shatter the Sky? Rutrow. Careful, SpongeBob. You can't cast instants and sorceries. So that's pretty much the deck. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. If you wanted to mirror this deck exactly as I've made it, I'd be quite flattered. If you wanted to maybe switch it up a little bit and customize it to suit your own taste, that will probably suit you well. The cards that I think are for sure are the Bodies and the Rally, and I don't know if I would put the tapped land in here. My buddy has it in. The only part I would maybe mix up is the amount of God's Willings. Maybe I'd cut one of these. I think Unsummon is required for the meta. And then I think Winged Words is a required card in this deck because it's the only deck that can play it and it's very useful. Over here in my sideboard I got some other options for cards that you might want to consider. Brought Back is a pretty cool spell. It does cost white. On the 19 lands build, I don't know if I would play this. It's a nice way to accept the fact that you're going to have some creatures removed. Hushbringer's pretty good in the meta. You can play Tomik to shut down Nissa. Cerulean Drake has protection from red. Lazotep Plating's pretty good, protects you from Thought Erasure as well. I don't know if you would want to play a Quench build, maybe a little bit slower. I don't think this card belongs in the aggro build. Tail's End is the only card that protects you from Blast Zone and Murder Girl, a Massacre Girl. Dovin's Veto, pretty good. Aerial Assault is a really cute card. I don't know if you should play it, but it's funny, so I put it here. Hanged Executioner, great card for the bigger build. Unbreakable Formation. This can be your 5th and 6th copy of Rally of Wings. I don't know if I would go so far as to use the Phalanx spell. I don't think it's very good. Brazen Borrower, another all-star card. I think it's a little bit too big for this build. We don't really want to be able to have to cast blue-blue. Dovin is a card I had in the main board. It's pretty fun. Honestly, I'd recommend playing this card, but the most competitive version of the deck, I don't... This card kind of wants to go do its other thing, which can be good. I've won games against red just because I played this card. That being said, it doesn't always go right. And one time some guy mass manipped my Dovin after I put it to 10 loyalty counter, so that sucked. Eagle's pretty good. I don't know if I think this card is good. It could be good in the bigger build if you wanted to go ahead and play the Hanged Executioner. And lastly, Conclave Tribunal, another good card to consider for this deck. Thank you very much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, get the bell on. Let me know what kind of videos you want to see in the future. I want to be really serious about promoting this channel and building it, and you guys are my grassroots base, so thank you very much and have a great day.